Hello, guys.
Hi.
Hi.
Switch just like this.
Hi, guys.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
How's everyone doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
The snow has melted. We got some April Fool's snow, but it wasn't a joke. It was actually there. Thankfully, today it's melted, so not too bad. And is it spring for you, Amber, in New York?
It was for a day.
Ah, they're toying with you.
Yeah.
On one hand, of course, the sun is shining on the brilliant spring.
It's quite nice today. It's quite nice.
Just like a
I'm not
flower.
complaining at all, and now it's nice. It's almost full time.
Hey, you're dressed in your flower shirt. You're nice and pink.
Well, that's for you, darling.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
That's for you, darling. Hi, everyone.
Your number one fan, Amber.
Oh, hey, Byron. Byron's birthday's coming up.
I don't know where you're watching from, June. I'm seeing that it's, let me look at the sooner. These comments are coming in. I think it's fine. You're in Pennsylvania. That's close to where Amber's at.
Hey, Amy.
Hey, Amy.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Hi.
Well, welcome everyone. This is our cookie lunch break. Thanks so much for joining us.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Jeremy.
Hello, Jeremy. We missed you last live stream. He was out running around.
Oh, Jeremy there? Hi, Jay.
So if you guys miss anything and you want to like rewatch any part, this is saved to our Facebook and our YouTube, so you can rewatch it, as well as all our previous live streams. You can watch that there. And if you're kind of interested, we recently launched some accounts on a platform. I'm looking for the links here. A platform.
Coffee.com?
Yes, coffee.com. I'm looking for the thumbnail with all of our users on it. Do we have a picture?
I don't know if I ever saw a picture.
Here's my link. This is mine. So I have all my Easter templates and today's template up. And then Amber, I'm looking for your button. Looking for your button. Oh, is this it? No. Anyway.
Well, we have the, it's, you go, www.coffee. Yeah, there it is.
So if you want to purchase our templates, you can purchase them there. They're $2 during the live stream. And yeah, that really helps us continue to make this ad-free kind of thing and pays our expenses and helps us out. So thank you to those of you that purchased the templates on Tuesday from me and last week on Friday with the girls. So today it's me and hand decorating. Amber's in charge of the buttons.
Mm-hmm.
Can we trust you?
I think so.
Let's do the camera dance. Who's going first?
I don't know who is going first. Are you going first? I have a lot. Oh, I'm sorry. You see all the mess here behind me. I can go and then we can switch up if you want.
All right. So then.
Right. So I have quite a lot of things that we're gonna be doing today. So I'm gonna.
There you go then.
All right. Okay. So.
All right, and I'll take over the controls over here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what I'm gonna do, we're going to do some simple wood grain. And what I like to do, I like to use thin, like I would say maybe 8-second consistency oil icing at first. So I'm going to spread a really thin layer of icing on the cookie. I love hexagonal shapes. And to color this icing, I just used black food coloring to give it like dark gray color. And if you have excess of icing, just wipe it with a towel. Can you see? My whole camera.
Is this the hexagon that's in your shop? That cookie cutter?
In my, I guess it is. I don't know. I don't know. I guess it is.
Let's see if we can find.
Not in my coffee shop. I don't have anything in there in regards
if you
to
go
this tutorial yet. But I will upload hopefully soon.
All right.
All right. So once you spread this in a thin layer, you're gonna what?
How old is that cookie?
Well, this is fresh. This is actually fresh. Yes, it's actually fresh. It's actually fresh. I made these a couple days ago. No, they're actually really good tasting. This is not my regular recipe. This is a recipe that I use for mini tart shells.
Oh, it's got that's one with almonds?
No. It's with egg yolks. Only egg yolks. No egg whites. So you want this to be like, you can see it's fairly thin here. And so you want to let that dry. So while that's drying, we're going to make the butterflies. And to make the butterflies, I prepared a really handy stencil. I used the Mylar material. Is that what you use, Mar, for your stencils?
Well, because I'm cutting with the machines tend to struggle with that material. So I use actually a thinner plastic than that.
Okay. So I think this is 6 mil plastic that I used. And I just hand cut it because I don't have the same machine as Mar has. So I hand cut it with an X-Acto knife. So what I have here is a piece of wax paper, and I'm just putting this butterfly stencil over it. Now I'm gonna take yellow royal icing, and we're gonna spread it over the stencil, then I'm gonna lift it up. Now you have a couple options that you can use to spread the icing. You can use this small offset spatula. It's about, what is this, 3-inch maybe blade? Or you can use these. These are really handy. This one is, the blue one is Atico, and this is Sweet Sugar Bell. You can get these on Amazon. I think they are listed in my Amazon shop. Sweet
Sugar Bell's version comes, I think the package has a wider version, the two of them together, which is great.
Oh, okay. No, I came as 2 of the same, the ones I got. Yeah, it came 2 as the same, but I really like the small one. It reminds me of the one you have. You know, I think yours is even like smaller than this. The one that you got from Miri. Yeah. So anyway, so you can, I mean, there are options that you can use to spread the icing. This is disgusting, so I'm just going to. When I do something like this, I don't always put it in a regular piping bag to save the piping bags. I just put it in a sandwich bag. Oops. This is what's going to happen every 5 minutes. All right, so I'm going to pipe it onto the spreader, not onto the parchment. You can see it's pretty thick. Make sure that you have your wax paper underneath. Now, if you have an option to make this a multi-butterfly stencil, that would be probably ideal, so you can get more of them done at the same time. And you just spread it. You don't want to go too thin because then the transfer is going to be very fragile. And now the trick is to pick it to lift it up. So I'm going to hold the bottom and then carefully lift it up like this, okay? And then you can continue. You can continue making more butterflies. I would say you need to clean it up maybe after 5th time or something like that. Maybe not even that. And then you can just continue making more and more. You can use different colors. And then I would recommend that you let it dry overnight, or at least I would say 6 to 7 hours or more. I mean, that is overnight. And then once they're dry, this is what they're gonna look like. I made more colors. I also made blue, and I made pink. Here they are. So
that's
just
very
to show you.
Spring, you know, nice.
Yes, very spring-like. Yes, absolutely.
Love
and so it's really easy to remove them from the wax paper. if you've never made transfers, this is what happens when you're not gentle with them.
Mm.
You know, they do break quite easily. But you can really crank up so many butterflies with this technique.
Mm-hmm.
You need to use a lot of butterflies. They're super easy to make. Now, to make them a bit prettier, you could airbrush them. But I don't have an airbrush here. Or if you don't have an airbrush, you could also use, that's what I'm going to be using today. This is an orange petal dust, or color dust, I think. This is a Wilton brand I'm using today.
Markers,
And
markers do the job.
Markers, you could use, I was going to say, you could also use a marker. The only thing with a marker, if you press on these too hard, they might break. I am going to use a marker, but where's my brush? So I'm just going to with my brush. I'm going to go just around the edges here, just to give it a little more color.
Mm-hmm.
You could also paint these, obviously, but the dust works really fast. So it's such a fast.
Do you prefer wax paper over parchment paper to do transfers?
It really I keep saying one thing and then I go back to the other one. I do like wax paper because I feel like it doesn't absorb as much water as parchment. So then your bottom, your underside, it's not too uneven.
Right, because the parchment will wrinkle a lot.
Yeah. Unless you have parchment, I have found parchment that has like a really nice coating.
Yeah, that looks so pretty.
Okay, we can do another one. I'm just gonna use some residue from this one.
So is this butterfly template in your coffee shop?
Not yet. I'm going to.
Okay, it'll be there.
I'm going to. Yeah, it will be there. It will be there. Sorry, guys. Yes.
That's right. So maybe if
butterflies are so popular all year long, I think it's such an evergreen thing to do, and it is very springy, like Marlyn said.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a question from Carol here asking if the paintbrushes for edible purposes is different than a regular.
So you don't want to. This is actually Wilton. I don't know if you can see, but it's Wilton. This is a set of 5. Amber also uses this set. This one that I used I have 3 of them actually. Here, I don't have the last 2. I don't see them here, but these are all from the same set, and these are great. Oops. These are great. I don't know why it sets, but it's 5 minutes. So these are really great, and I would highly recommend that you get these. These are plastic, they have plastic handles, so they're not going to. You can use them with water. They're not gonna rust or anything like that. Or I haven't had any problems with them. And I obviously just use them with food. You don't want to use any kind of. You can go to the store and get a paintbrush, but make sure that you don't use it with oil paint before you use it on the food. Just put it in a special container and use it with food only.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now that we've done that, I am going to use a marker. Oh, okay. This way. So this is actually where is the name of it? I can't think of the rainbow dust.
It's rainbow dust. Yeah.
Yeah, this is rainbow dust. This is rainbow dust, and it's a dual pen. So you have this side, it's fine tip, and this side, it's like a regular wider tip. So I'm going to. I have made some template for myself because sometimes it's really hard to draw these lines. Was that me making noise?
I think somebody got an email or something.
Me, somebody sent me a coffee. Thank you, everybody.
All right.
Oh, another one. Wow.
Another one. Okay.
Thank you.
Wow, that's great. And I think, Ken, this might be in your plan, but to put the wings together at some point on the cookie.
Yes,
So
yes,
that they're-
yes. That's the plan. Now I'm going to. The reason I'm doing this now because once you remove it, it's kind of really difficult to handle these small pieces. They tend to slide on the work surface, so it's best to leave them on the parchment for as long as possible. And then also for storage purposes, if you are making a lot of these and you want to store them in a box, you can store them like this, you know, layered maybe with some paper towel, and they will keep for a really long time. Just to show you, these are 2 years old.
Wait, are those black ones also transfers?
Well, this is sugar bale. I had
Oh,
made.
I see. I
This is
see.
sugar bale. I had made with mold, but because sugar bale, or I guess any sugar lace will dry out, so I have to make it more pliable by steaming it. So that's
Yeah.
what I'm hoping to do it at some point.
Yeah, those are really cool.
Otherwise they break quite easily. You don't handle them with care. But these, yeah, and imagine these survived move from US to Spain. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna continue with these lines. You don't want to put too much pressure on this, obviously, because it can break. But okay, now I'm gonna try to mirror it, which can be quite hard, but.
Well, Haniela, Halloween cookies, so
Yes.
you could use that for a Halloween cookie. Somebody suggested.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I
I
actually have this technique posted on the blog under my Royal Icing Butterflies, where I share how I make also more traditional pipe butterflies, and you can check that out. All right, so I'm just gonna wing it. All right. So that part is done, and now we're going to outline it. So to outline, ideally I would say use black, but I wanted to kind of get away from black a little bit, so I'm gonna use, this is like olive.
Olive.
little baby piping bag.
And so I'm just gonna cut the tip.
Thank you, Tracy. Oh, you got another one, Mar?
I did.
Wow.
The butterflies are made of real icing.
Yes, happy Easter weekend.
Oh, hello, Anne Marie. Hello. Oh, I already posted.
Sorry.
Oh, Lourdes is from Mexico. Hello.
Thanks for watching.
I don't know if you guys, when you look at your demographics, I actually have a lot of people watching from Mexico and Brazil.
Yeah.
My videos.
It's great.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to avoid that.
There's got to be a setting in there.
Something to override it.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
Maybe Tara knows.
Oh. All right. So we're going to let this dry. I'm going to put that on the side. And now we are going to. So I prepared this earlier. This doesn't dry that fast. This is the one I made.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see it's still a little shiny. You want to wait a little longer to make it, so it's flat. So this one has been drying for a little while. It's super dry. And I'm going to use, Amber, you would know, or your dad would know. He was there. Is this ash color of the wood when it's like grayish, or is it cedar?
Jeremy knows.
Or Jeremy knows. Hey, Jeremy, wood working. All right, so I'm using stiffer icing. Again, I don't have it in a piping bag because we're just going to add it in a blob on the cookie. So I'm gonna use lighter gray, and then I'm going to add some spots with dark gray as well, white. I'm just gonna spread it. You want icing to be fairly thick because we're going to use a toothpick to create wood planks. So if the icing is too runny, then the lines will be disappearing on you. You'll see what I mean in a second.
What was your question about the color of the wood?
Well, what's the wood that is like grayish?
Oh, barnwood.
Huh?
Isn't it barnwood?
Oh, what do you mean barnwood? What's that?
What I heard it called.
Like, what would
I
you?
thought like cedar will get gray, right, when it like loses its, I don't know.
Yes,
or
weathered
ash?
wood, Amy. But it's wood that's like been outside and acclimated.
Yeah. Weathered wood, yes. Weathered wood, yes.
Okay.
It's funny now because my husband's from the country, and so people tear down their barns, and before you just basically burn that scrap wood, now you're selling it for $100 a plank.
Oh, reclaimed wood. Oh my goodness, it's expensive. It's quite expensive. Very popular.
Here in Canada has gone up like exponentially, and I'm like, well, don't we have enough trees? I mean, in Canada of all places, all we have is trees. I don't really understand the price of wood. It's going crazy.
Hmm.
Well, if it's from an old barn, you know, like you can't really get that look.
No, I'm talking about new 2x4s at the hardware store.
Oh yeah.
Oh, 2x4. Yes, it's I can. Oh, did I? Okay, let's go this way.
Oh yes, Anne Marie has reclaimed wood. That's the fancy name.
Yes, that is the fancy
Mhm.
fancy name. Yeah. Okay, so now to give it a little texture, you can use one of these.
Clean one.
Obviously, you know, I brush my teeth and feet.
Oh God, I'm not having your cookies.
So you give it a little, like, you know, you rough it up a little bit.
Cool.
So Julie has she's saying that her transfers get discolored.
Oh, discolored. Oh,
So
are
like,
you placing them in the direct sunlight?
Well, is it discolored or is it color bleed that you're referring to, Julie?
Oh,
because that happens a lot with.
Yeah.
So now I'm using a toothpick.
That's
I like to use a toothpick. This is a high-end product. I like to use the rounded ones. The flat ones, I find they are a bit flimsy. And the reason I'm using a toothpick is that it's thicker than a regular scribe tool. And I'm gonna start in the center. And that's the reason. I'm sorry?
Oh yeah, I think you were just gonna answer this question. Why do you flood the cookie if you're gonna cover it?
Yes, so the reason why we did the thin layer of icing on the bottom is now I'm removing a small portion of it, exposing that dark layer, which gives it a more wood-like look, right? Or wood planks.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
And also you can see that the icing is not healing, it's not coming together, lines are staying intact. So you could leave it like this, or you could also make, I guess I will make some knots.
I like this. No, where is he? Where's his comment? He's saying this episode of Cookie Live is brought to you by Sony.
Yes, very much. You have no idea what it took to get here. Yeah, exactly, Sony.
Yeah, like we try to hide like the tech problems and whatever, and that's it. Like some days the live stream's not, the connection's not, the camera's not.
Well, Jeremy, I think you need to appreciate the angle, camera angle. No more weird angle.
Right,
I mean, I think
the angle is awesome, and also the lighting is awesome.
Yeah, this looks so good.
Have you guys noticed?
It's much better.
Cameras worked out, so that's great.
All right, so now because the other one, this, I don't know if this is dry yet. Okay, so let's see.
Thank you, Josie. Some stars.
No, let's get if it's dry. Okay, so all right. So we're going to position it on the cookie. I don't have. All right, I'm just gonna use a little bit of. Ideally, you want to put the icing on the back of them, but I don't want to handle these too much because I just pipe the outlines. So, okay.
I'm gonna put Hen's coffee link in the comments.
Well, here I put the 3 of them on the screen, and then yeah.
Okay, so to lift it up, you can use a toothpick, or if you have, like I said, I just piped the outline, so I'm just a little concerned that it's going to get messed up.
One of the kind of tricky parts of being on live, most of the icing things that we do have to dry. And so you're kind of like having to figure it out.
And
right?
do a lot of work ahead of time.
Yes, a lot of advanced prep and
Just want to shift it a little bit just so it sticks to the icing that is underneath.
yeah, a little wiggle. It's really nice, the yellow against the gray. That's when it like kind of
It is, but I have to say I'm not loving the olive I chose.
okay.
Yeah, I'm not loving the olive. I think it's making it
Drab a bit.
yeah. So now I'm just going to pipe the body.
Maybe next time electric green.
Oh yeah. To match my shirt.
Yes.
Okay, and to make these a bit more special, we're going to pipe some succulents. So what I've got here, okay, I've got here flower nail. I already have double-sided tape on it. I've got my parchment here. And I also have some royal icing here. And I should have 2 tips. So we're gonna start with a star tip. And let me just remove this, so it's quite messy here. See that?
Oh, burnt orange, yeah. That would be nice, a burnt orange outline.
Oh yeah, that's like burnt orange is that like orange reddish orange? That's the one, right?
Here, coincidentally, just funny to my cookies are kind of that color.
Oh yeah.
Excellent. All right, so I'm going to start. Where are my succulents? So we're going to make a couple of these. I've got a starter
on it. That'll be nice.
I'm sorry.
I said you're putting succulents. I said that'll be nice.
Yeah. Well, I made these also a while ago, and you can find a very detailed tutorial on my blog how to make these pretty little things. And then okay, so all of these. All right, and then this one is really nice as well. All right. All right, so let me put the parchment 5 minutes. Seems to be going off. All right, so here I have this is also like an olive green and like hot pink. Let me just see. I didn't test it. So I guess you not I guess, but you want to pipe it until both of the colors come out.
Yeah. And these will basically last forever once they're dry, right?
Yes, these I also made a while ago. These cute little things.
Here's her blog link to her post to make those.
Okay.
And
so
then
you can use a template. I don't have a template, so let's see if I can do it without a template.
Okay. And then the butterfly template will be available soon. It's not up yet.
Oh, somebody's mad.
Again?
Yeah, it's Lynn Rothstein.
It must be my red pink shirt.
Sorry, Lynn, if we make you angry.
Blinding you. I'm sorry. You know, here in Spain, they have such gorgeous succulents. They grow so big.
Yeah, I've never seen them like in the wild. That must be neat to just go out on a walk and see them everywhere.
They are quite big. So you can see this wasn't that bad. I mean, when you are doing these succulents, I think a lot of people overthink it. When you look in the wild, they take on so many different shapes, and like when one of the leaves breaks off, there is another leaf coming out, and it's like misshaped or whatever.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't we always try to be so perfect, but it doesn't have to be. And yeah. Right, so if you want to do, let's see, could you, so what I'm doing is I'm putting pressure on a piping bag, then I'm releasing it and I'm pulling away. And what you can also do, you can also control what color is coming out which way. So if you want more red, and you can see it on this side, so you're going to turn up your bag that way, and you'll have more red. But now remember, there is already some icing in the piping tip. So you may want to squeeze out more icing to get to the color you want, if you know what I mean.
What tip is this?
This is this is 16.
16.
Yeah, 16. You can also use 14.
Things like this, I mean, really, royal icing transfers are the way to go, because already, like, decorating the cookies, baking, everything is so long. So if you can get this done in advance, it's like such a, just never mind time saver, it's your mind saver.
Yeah.
So that you don't go crazy trying to get it done.
You could also pipe these little guys, you know. These could be like a little accent. I mean, ideally you want to use a larger piping tip, like this one, for example. This is, I think, 32, the green one that I used. So you want to use larger tip, open star. Like this is not bad, the pink one, but this is more like a succulent would be, I think. So that's that. And then we can, because I had a coupler here, so I can swap out the tips.
This is true, Jeremy. Just make a ton, and then you'll just always have them.
Oh yeah, a dozen, 3 dozens, 5 dozens.
Julie's asking, how long does the tape last on your nail? Do you have to replace it often?
You mean the double-sided?
Yeah.
It lasts a very long time. I actually prefer when it's slightly worn out.
Oh, okay.
Reason is because it can stick, the parchment or the wax paper can stick to it too much. So when then you're trying to remove your I can demonstrate. All right, so let's see. We're going to make I mean, it's not sticking anymore that much, but when I first put it on, I tried to like almost like make it a little dirty so it doesn't stick too much, because then you can mess up your flower. Okay, so if I like, it's not sticking as much, but I hope you understand what I mean. If it's sticking to it too much, you have to pull too hard, and then you can misshape your flower. So sometimes I even prefer piping some royal icing on there. The only disadvantage I find that it gets messy after they dry, because then underside has a little bit of royal icing. So when then you are removing them, you have all of this bits of everywhere. But honestly, I often don't have double-sided tape, so I often use that method as well, and it's fine. All right, so we are going to do, succulents have really thick leaves. So I'm going to, instead of traditional rose, where this is a piping tip 101 petal tip. With the traditional rose, you have the narrow part of the tip facing up. Okay, and I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to use it with the white part up. Give the succulents this look, you know, like they look more.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. I thought that was.
I'm sorry.
I thought it was fondant. I didn't realize that you piped that one because it had the thick. Ed.
Yeah.
That's really
Yeah, but
cool.
it's been a while. I hope I still got it. I haven't piped yet.
Yeah.
It's like riding a bike. Go.
Oh yeah, okay.
Thank you, Angela. Beautiful.
Oops. That's up there.
And I'm guessing that these techniques that you're sharing today could be done in buttercream on a cupcake.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Bigger piping tips, though, obviously.
Well, unless you want to spend an hour on a cupcake. Best use probably what's the 125, I think. It's a large pedal tip.
104. It's pretty big to.
Probably it is a big issue. They cover it almost every spot. Oh, you responded to some comments.
A lot of people have the color bleed issue. There's lots of different things you can try. I find that making sure that you don't overmix your icing.
And over color, because people
coloring, yeah,
right away to this top dark color.
Mm-hmm. What else? Don't make your icing too watery. It also depends on the icing recipe you're using. If you might have to change some things in the recipe.
And the brand.
And the brand of meringue powder, if you're using meringue powder or egg whites or carton eggs or fresh eggs.
The coloring, Amber, the actual like brand of coloring, some of them are more prone to.
Mm-hmm. I love that. So do you position the tip on the bag in such a way to make sure that the green is right on the edge?
This was a coincidence, but if I want to really do that, you can really manipulate the way icing comes out. So I didn't do that this time, but if you go on the blog haniela.com under my real icing succulent post, you'll see that I usually put all the colors in a piping bag, like a Ziploc bag, and then I make little real icing bullets or pouches where you can really be precise where you are piping your colored royal icing. For example, if you want to make this kind of a rose, you have to make sure that light green, this lime green, is coming out through the narrow part of the royal icing. So then you have to align it. So this is narrow, so you make sure that the icing is placed here. But this was just a really nice coincidence that it was coming out that way.
For pansies, you would probably use the same, because I know you've done.
Yes, I have done pansies as well. So you have, yes, exactly. You do the same. You have to kind of figure out what color you want to come out. I mean, if you change your mind, like I said before, once you start piping, you have to remember that this green is filled. The piping tip is filled with green, at least half of the piping tip. So if you want to change that, you can easily do that by turning the tip. But remember, the color inside didn't change, so you have to push it out until you see the right colors coming out, if that makes sense.
And that's a tip 101.
This is a 101. Yes, this is, I think, this is not the smallest of the pedal tips, but it is the very popular tip with the cookie decorators and making roses. If you go smaller, they tend to be very hard to make. I find, anyway, you have to be really patient. Okay, so I'm gonna do one more than we did before. So this is I'm holding it like what is this, like a 45 degree angle, and white part is facing the center and narrow part is facing out. And notice that I'm also turning the flower nail. And if you have a template, and these are really easy to get, you can find them online. And I also have a template for Daisy on coffee.com. Coffee.com? Yes, coffee.com.
Yeah.
You can get a template and you can just follow the template if you are not sure where to pipe the next petal, and it will give you even results throughout. If you're making 100 of these, you know, you probably want to make sure that they're all the same. And then what you can do, you can use a toothpick to kind of smooth the center. You could put a little dragée in there or nonpareils. All right, so that's for these simple succulents. This one, if you wanted to see how this one is done, this is done with a leaf tip. You want to see how that's done?
Well, we're at 45 minutes, darling.
Oh, we are? Okay, darling. Oh, yes.
We'll save that one
You
for.
were complaining that I'm so
go first.
okay. We are 45. All right, so let's finish up. So I'm just going to embellish these with some succulents that I prepared earlier. And we have some more green here. So I'm just going to add some leaves. 45 minutes.
So much fun piping.
Okay. Yeah. Finally, good lighting.
I'm not saying it in a bad way. I said you're like you're in your zone. You're there going. Oh. When we're off, you could pipe another 100. You seem to be enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
It's like literal icing therapy, eh?
All right. So let's finish this off. Oops. Okay, which one? Let's put this one in there. And then you can obviously play more with it and more leaves. You have to tell me what time is it. I forgot.
That's so pretty.
So is that like, you know, that hanging cactus? Do you know? I don't know the name, but
yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about? It kind of looks like a braid.
Yeah.
It has a name. It has a name. I can't remember the name of it. I think I'm just gonna leave it as it is. Okay,
That's
we did all these flowers, but that's fine.
that.
I think I'm just gonna leave it as it is. All right. All right, I'm out.
That's another skill, seriously, in all seriousness, when you're cookie decorating, to know when to stop, you know? Sometimes you have made all those succulents and you're like, wow, I love them all. I want to put them all on this one cookie. But sometimes it's better to hold back and resist a little bit.
You could obviously do more. You could add a few here, you know, you could do anything you want. I mean, but I think it kind of maybe dilutes the whole.
It is very nice, a little bit.
I'm gonna leave it as it is. All right, so back to you,
Victoria.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
All right.
Well, thanks, Han. I was just teasing.
Well, you have exactly 12 minutes.
Yeah. We might go over, and that's why we go over when I'm on, just so we're clear.
Okay, that's true. That is absolutely true.
So today I'm working on borders. So basically, they're a little bit big, obviously, for cookies. But the thing is during the live stream and with filming, it's tougher to see with the super small piping tips. So they're bigger than I would recommend for an actual like cookie. But you can see here, I'm going to try to zoom in. I don't know how much I can kind of zoom in. So if you look at so this is the template that's available today on Coffee, as well as all my Easter ones are $2 today during the live stream. So you can see here, I've got them marked. So if you want to practice with the different piping tips. So just to show you, they come in all different sizes, piping tips. So there's closed star, open stars, and regular just rounds. Some of them Han used to make her succulents. And so the bigger they are, the bigger the thing that you're going to be working on. So obviously you're not going to use the same thing on a cupcake as you would on a small cookie. And so if you want to try, you see here, that's why I put the different piping tips. You can try the different looks. So just this one here, where's my hand now? this one here. These three are all the same, but just they look so different because they were done with a different piping tip. All of them, like there's three, all just with a different piping tip. And you can see it gives you such a different result, you know? So that's just something to kind of like try. And so here are the two templates to show.
Well, yeah, that whole thing, all those different shapes are available on your coffee shop.
Yes. And so like the way that I design, always I'm thinking about if you guys want to make an airbrush template. So you can either use it with a projector, or if you're practicing, you practice and you can pipe right on the paper. You can put parchment on, whatever you want to do. But you can also cut them, shrink them to your cookie size and make like the border for your cookie. So then you have the guideline right on the cookie to be able to pipe. Speaking of that, today I designed this for Amber. So that's in her coffee shop, her swirls. I'll turn it over so you can see it. So that's
we then filigree. That is beautiful.
So if you struggle, you want to replicate her design, well, this way you could just pop that on the cookie, airbrush it, and then you'd have your guidelines. You could probably do it with a marker as well, and boom, you could type that on your cookie. So here, I just want to show the two examples. So this is a previous cookie that I did, and you can see, you know, like usually we'll see like either just a straight line or a little pearl kind of border. This is just something a little bit different if you want to try, you know, like if you're doing maybe wedding stuff or things like that. And here you can see it just kind of like changes up the look, you know. So here I did experiment with that
Cool.
stencil. I tested it on those cookies.
I'm so excited about that template. That's awesome.
You're excited about the template. So here I'm just gonna type on the sheet. So again, it's one of those things that's tough to show in a live stream, but I'm going to try. So if you imagine now, like, you know, don't look at as a big thing. Look at each little individual thing. This is a tear shape, repeated, slightly see to the right, to the left, these are several tear shapes. You break it up in your mind. You see here, they're just like little curves. So you're just repeating, and it's just practice, pressure, knowing when to do your pulse of squeeze and then your release, right? You're doing a little pulse of pressure and then you release for the tapering. That way you get like this kind of like, you know, it gets narrower at the end. So I'm just trying to find where I am on the paper so that I'm actually in frame. So I think I'm good. So I'll start squeezing. And I see the icing coming out. I tuck it kind of under. I touch down so that is pretty at the end there. I don't want to have this ugliness that's coming. And so now this ended where I want the next one to begin. So then I'm going to be hiding my ending with my beginning. So I start squeezing and I kind of go around to hide it. And once you start going, well, I'm going the wrong way, you get a flow for it and you just kind of like, you can spin your piping tip. And you don't want to have rock hard icing. You're just going to hurt yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You have an icing that's able to hold those pretty lines, but you don't want to have a carpal tunnel at the end of the day. This is a 16. I don't think I'd go much bigger than that on a cookie. You know, it gets too big. It's like a lot of icing. So here it's the same thing, but this time it's double. You see, I'm going one and then this little one, and then again. And you can have the sheet next to you and like kind of like, okay, which one am I doing? And just have like a visual reference next to you when you're piping. You see?
Beautiful.
It's just, all of them are the same. This one here is maybe the more different one. Let me see if I can get in frame for this one. Where am I here? This one?
Yeah.
So you're just doing like a tear shape, which is like a shell border. And then on either side, you're doing, and you see this on kind of like the, I want to say Amber's style of cookies, you know, like the kind of more royal type things, you know, like the very elegant stuff. And then if you're really like, you could, I guess, come in with a knot star tip to do the dot. But you'll see these around on round cookies. People do like that, like kind of all the way around. Here a little, am I in? Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's like E shapes, and then you're going.
I'm doing it with you.
You are?
Fun. I
I
don't
think
have
I
any use today.
You see? So it just kind of like switches things up. And this one here is fun. Here, where am I? Here, this one. So this one here, you're doing a circular motion. See? So this is, you're going around, and then when you can pull, you see, and it does this very kind of fancy-ish thing. You don't want to do 100 cookies like this, but if you're doing a few wedding ones, you could maybe add this, you know, if you're doing a corset cookie, you could have.
Mar.
What?
I did it.
You did it? Very nice. Here, let's put it in the, seriously, put it
Oh,
down.
no, it's fine. It's fine. You don't have to do that.
I want to see.
Okay, you want to see? Oh,
It's very
oh,
pretty. You see, she's got all kind of marbled icing in there. It gives it like a different look. So yeah, it's just something to kind of like change it up. We tend to get kind of in a rut, I want to say, doing always the same thing, you know?
Yeah.
So this is just like, it's very repetitive. You're doing, and then I have also, there's 3 templates in there. There's a third one that I don't have to show you, but it's a heart, just to do these borders around on a like a rounded shape, you know? So where's this one here? So let's do, I'm trying to think what I want to back out here a little bit. So I do like, so see here, I did, you know, basically you're airbrushing the same color that you have on the other side. And it's just a way to kind of like jazz up a simple geometric shape, is to have some fancy, like even like this here, then you can come in and pipe over the airbrushed swirls, and then you could come in and maybe, you know, do a version of that, like the C shapes down the middle, or it's kind of like, oh, here, let's just, out of curiosity, if you pipe with, have you ever done that on your swirls, a star tip?
I have not.
Oh, yeah.
I guess you will.
Anyway, that's what it kind of, because you always kind of do it on wet, that's why, eh? Your swirls?
Yeah, I usually do wet on wet, yeah.
But you see the stencil,
yeah.
the stencil allows to do that. All right, I'm glad this
We have a question. This might be okay. Question from Kristen. I'm doing shower cookies with an orange poppy theme. Any suggestions for making flowers on a cookie?
what is she doing?
The flowers on a cookie. You know, like when you are piping, when you're actually piping directly on a cookie, right? So you have like.
I can shout out Amy. Amy did, I think, 2 live streams ago. She's using this ruffle piping tip, and it's something like that I would have never thought. It's actually it's something for cupcakes, and it pulls out like a really long flat piece of icing, and she just turned her cookie in a circle, and she had a poppy. Actually, she did make a poppy.
Yeah, so I think it is in the piping tip and how you turn your cookie. Yeah, how you translate it.
So where am I here? So I'm going to do the one that I did before there, that 3. So it's like there, and then on either side, you've got these kind of like little curved shapes. And it looks like chunky here because the piping tip is so big. But like I say, when you're working on a small tip, it's much more elegant and fine, but not really hard for you guys to see, you know, working on microscopic things. Well, but you can kind of see, if it was smaller, it just, but I do like the star. It's probably my favorite, the star tip, to do these particular things. And the open star I bought from PME. PME's tips are, I have to say, they're off the charts. And I ordered a 43, and that's an open star tip. I'm going to see if I can show you guys. This is probably cookie sized. And because it's open, it's much easier to pipe than a closed piping tip. Where am I here? I like this one. See this one? when I look at it, I find it confusing. So I would, if you can, make an airbrush stencil and just give yourself a bit of a shadow. Like, you don't have to airbrush your guidelines in jet black, you know, you just do a mist of like a tone on tone of your existing cookie, and then you have your guidelines. But I do like the look of this particular piping tip.
Oh, that's nice.
So if you've never
I don't know
bought,
why it reminds me of eclairs. I don't know why. It's weird.
oh yeah, I could eat an eclair right now.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, it reminds. That's such a nice thing.
So they're much more expensive, the PME, but it's in the fabrication they're made. There's no seam in them. They're seamless, and so you don't get this curving. And I mean, I think they work out to $10 here in Canada, but they just really do work so much better. There's just, I mean, it's one of those things. You get the 1.5. If anything, get yourself a 1.5 if you do writing and stuff on your cookies, and
That's
you're
the one that I
going to see.
have.
Yeah, you're going to see a big improvement. It really makes a difference. And then here's just I don't even know why I have a brown cookie, but I. And so again,
Is
with
that brown? I thought like it almost looks like
Kind of a
like brownish, like either oranges or orange brown or like red brown. Like I don't know what is this color.
it is.
Sabrina, I had a question, unrelated question. Can I ask what mixers you ladies use? My poor KitchenAid is struggling with my cookie dough. Oh, how is that possible that it's struggling with the cookie dough?
I use I have a KitchenAid. I have the Artisan, which is the small one, and then I have the professional.
Yeah, the professional one with the tilt. Yeah.
The whole thing lifts up instead of. That one is that one's really strong, and that one like never has any issues. But the smaller one, sometimes the motor does kind of have a little trouble mixing like stiff icing and cookie dough. So, but
yeah, I've had both as well. I mean, I did like them, but I love the Kenwood. Kenny, how is Kenny June? Kenwood. I had Kenwood mixer that I absolutely, it was fantastic. It was great for. I liked it quite a lot because of the bowl shape. It wasn't as narrow at the bottom.
Okay, yeah.
So the paddle attachment mixed everything. Sometimes in the KitchenAid, I find I had to dump it out, and there was still a little bit of dry like flour on the bottom. So that was the only, but I mean, I like them both. I mean, KitchenAid is such a workhorse. This is lovely. I like that quite a lot, what you just did, Mar.
Beautiful.
So it's just, you can make up your own too, you know? And if you're going to make sure that you know the next kind of line you're putting is going to cover your end. You see, like here, I can stop, because I know I'm going to go back over like with another swirl. You see, so I'm just doing kind of ease all the way around. As soon as you don't have to stop, if you can do a continuous motion, you'll work a little bit faster. You want to think about that if you're working on a lot of cookies. So you have a huge lot of them. Here,
terracotta was the color we were looking for.
Yes,
that's terracotta. Yes, I should know. There's terracotta everywhere here. Yes.
See here, you can see it's basically that on the edge. You see, I just like use the plat.
Do you think this is something I wanted to done for a really long time? Do you think these, like, if you you make some of these designs, like I think this one could be possibly done as a transfer and put them on, like I had planned to doing a gingerbread house that way, gingerbread house, that you make these ahead of time. Do you think it's something that is possible, or do you think they would break? Like, really?
Oh no, they're pretty like thick. Here, this I piped it on paper actually a few months ago, and I mean it's quite strong. The blue paper that I showed before,
yeah,
like it's quite strong. I think the only issue would be like the lengthwise, right? If you're doing,
well, I mean, like if it was like a
crown,
more of a closed design, not so open, you know, like it was like closed design. Yeah, like what you have here, like something like that. You think it would survive?
Yeah, and then here you can see it just with a plain piping tip. This is just around. And when you're doing like the, you want to have really defined things, it works a little bit better with the bigger tip. If it's super small, it kind of like you're not even able to kind of see it, right? But you can kind of, am I in? Yeah.
I can see this like on the Christmas ornaments. It would be really nice.
Yes.
Christmas ornaments.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pushing in the icing, and you can kind of like carve it towards the end.
Yeah.
You want to work on a kind of dryish base. You see, you can kind of see the brown there underneath. And then here you can add a dot if you want. But I forget that. June said it last time. I forget the name now. This is like Lambeth?
Oh, yes.
Yes, Lambert method, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that is a quite intricate, very carpal tunnel igniting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You see,
it's very pretty.
I'm just doing a swirl either side, you see? Like, it doesn't have to be super complicated, but it just...
You could put what are they called? The pearls in the loop.
Yeah, you could.
Oh, yeah.
You could. So yeah, so that's.
Oh, that would be, like the dresses. I love the detail on the dress, on the back of the dress, where there are buttons covered with fabric. That could be the.
Well, that's it. Like if you do a corset type cookie or something, you could do like
exactly.
what do you call it? The boning. You could do the boning parts, or like maybe a section on a wedding dress. You could do a ruffly part. Anyway, there's this sheet. Kind of create a master for yourself to see what each piping tip kind of looks like, and then have them or take a picture. Did I have a picture here of the blue?
And the link is right on the screen right there. If you go to Marlyn's coffee shop, you'll find this whole template there available for. Yeah,
there's 2 sheets, and then the heart version if you want to just kind of see what it looks like when it's on a round cookie. But yeah, so it's just something if you guys sometimes have extra icing and you want to practice something different. And then also don't forget Amber has her new swirly stencil. I formatted it with the silhouette, so there's a file for the silhouette, or you can just use it with your projector.
Yeah.
There's a JPEG if you have a projector.
Very exciting.
She does it in her sleep. For us mere mortals, it might be better to use this.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's it. Oh, Hans' head is cut off.
Where'd you go?
Let's do this. Is this
How
better?
dare you, Archon Mount? You cut my head off. Okay.
Is that better? So thanks everyone for joining us for our little lunch break. We appreciate you guys tuning in and watching us. And thanks for everyone that bought the templates and sent us coffees today. So appreciated. I mean, that's what makes our live streams possible.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for that. And next Friday, it's Amber and Han, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look.
Next Friday, I'm going to be doing, I think it's going to be, again, a hexagonal shape.
Oh, no, I think it's not you. It's me and Amber.
Okay.
Okay, never mind.
Am I mixed up in my thing? Remember last time I screwed up the template, the scheduling, and I still haven't fixed it. So it might be, yes, you and a Han. Amber and Han. So
okay, make up your mind, finally, woman. Make up your mind. You get me excited and then suddenly, boom, okay.
I get so confused now. My brain is like, I don't know. I'm so like pandemic doubt. My gosh, I can't even.
Are you?
Anyway, what do you want? At least I can still decorate cookies.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I did. I put the border up.
You put the board no, yes. Oh, very good.
Oh, I just squished it with my hand, but
very nice.
Yeah, it's like
it's
very therapeutic, though, I have to say. Yeah, the piping and all that. I find it very therapeutic.
It is. It is, and I think that's why we've gotten so many people hooked on it over the years. Right? I mean,
oh yes, and everyone, guys, yes, Easter. Let's not forget Easter is here. I hope you have a wonderful Easter.
Oh yes, I really hope everyone
just
yeah.
do something fun. I would say do something fun. I don't know, bake with your family or something, and
Yes. Or at
yeah.
least eat some chocolate. Come on, at least just do that.
Yes, eat some chocolate. Good chocolate.
Enjoy it. What did she say? Addicted, not hooked. So if you guys are interested, I'm on live on Tuesdays. I just saw Amy there. I'm on with Amy of Seriously Sweet on Tuesdays. We do cookie therapy, and then on Fridays, lunch break with Han and Amber, and we do just similar but different stuff. So if you want to join us on Tuesday, same time, same place, and next Friday, back with you girls.
And same place. I like that. All right.
All
right, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See ya.